Well, we're finally here, the moment all of you guys have been waiting for. You couldn't wait for me to talk about Halloween Resurrection, right? Hey, what's up everybody? Nick here, and today I want to talk to you guys about Halloween Resurrection, everybody's favorite Halloween movie, and the one that I think most of us watch the most often if we're being totally real with ourselves. I mean, Oscar-winning performances across the board, Oscar-winning filmmaking, this thing is just incredible. So, all jokes aside, today I want to talk to you guys about Halloween Resurrection's home video release history. Now, I want to start right from the top just by saying that Halloween Resurrection actually doesn't have that extensive of a release history. The movie's only about 20 plus years old, so it hasn't really had a lot of reissues. And furthermore, it's not exactly super popular, so you don't see companies really going, I want to give this the STEELBOOK treatment. Now, would I buy a STEELBOOK with Busta on it? Yeah. But I get why they don't do it. So Halloween Resurrection first made its way home for the holidays in December 2002, and Santa Claus took a giant dump in your stocking with the first VHS release of Halloween Resurrection. Now, as much as I don't like this movie, and as much as I like to poke fun at it, this is very sentimental to me, because this was the very last official release of any Halloween movie on VHS. As you know, in 2005, 2006, VHS completely died out. So Rob Zombie's Halloween, although you can probably buy it custom, didn't officially get a release. This was the last one to get an official release, so it kind of means something to me. Now again, I'm not a big fan of this movie, but I have always said, and I'll maintain this, I love this artwork. Like, this is actually really cool. And like I said with Curse, I actually think it works pretty well for a VHS because it's longer. And I don't know, all of these quotes aside that are absolute utter bullshit, it's pretty cool. And to coincide with that VHS release, Halloween Resurrection came home on DVD. Now, I want to tell you guys a little story about this DVD that I'm holding in my hands. I could not find this thing at Target, Walmart, you name it. Now, it makes sense. Nobody really likes this movie. And I know there's one person watching right now that's like, dude, I like it. Why do you keep trashing it? Look, that's not my point, okay? This is not in high demand. It was not in high demand in the late 2000s, early 2010s. So how did I get this in '08? Well, I called my local Blockbuster and I was like, hey, do you guys have Halloween Resurrection by chance? And they were like, oh yeah, we do. And I was like, cool, I want to come rent it. Opened up an account to rent it. Never took it back. Now, yes, that was the plan from the very beginning, to rent this and never return it. But in my defense, I paid it off, don't worry. They were like, hey, you never returned this. And I was like, oh yeah, no worries, I'll pay the $7 or $8, whatever it was for the movie. And honestly, I think I overpaid. But look, Halloween Resurrection on DVD, actually, this isn't a terrible release. There's actually a lot of special features on here, which I really quite dig. The only thing I don't really dig is the fact that you have the camera footage from like the head cams that you can watch as like its own thing. It's unwatchable. Like, it's truly awful, but it's cool to have that. But also, I mean, look, I got a chapter insert, Like, I got special features for a movie I don't like and a chapter insert. So, like, cool, I guess. And honestly, I'll be real with you guys. As a teenager, I didn't hate this movie. So I was actually like really looking forward to diving into these special features and watching this at home. And as an adult now, I'm like, yeah, I don't like this movie. But I don't know, this release means a lot to me. And just to show you guys, to prove to you this is from Blockbuster, it's got the category on there. Horror, right there. Yep. That's how I got her. Then Echo Bridge Entertainment entered the conversation, and in 2011 they put out Halloween Resurrection on DVD. Now, I don't have the standalone DVD from Echo Bridge, but I do have these two collections. And mind you guys, one of these was gifted to me. Actually, I think both of these might have been gifted to me. I don't think I bought either one of these, if I'm not mistaken. And it makes sense because there is little to nothing on these things. The transfers are garbage. There's no special features. The presentation themselves, just like on the cases, garbage. But this is two more versions of Halloween Resurrection that I own. For a movie I hate so much, apparently, I own a lot of copies of it. We would finally get the first Blu-ray release for Halloween Resurrection, and that was put out by Echo Bridge Home Entertainment. Now, you guys have heard me talk about in my Curse video and my H2O video, how Echo Bridge absolutely crapped the bed with these releases, and I think it was intentional. I don't think they cared about really giving us good transfers. They definitely didn't care about giving us special features. I think they just wanted to make money off Halloween fans. And maybe that's a cynical way of looking at it, but the results speak for themselves. Now, having said that, this is actually not a bad transfer, which is so wild. Maybe not because it's an '02 movie, so it wasn't as old. It was probably easier to fix that. But either way, I mean, this actually looks and sounds pretty good. Like, this was actually good presentation for a movie that I did not care at all about having good presentation for. And they imported the special features over, at least, from the previous DVD release, whereas with the other two, they didn't put like any special features on there, which never made much sense to me. You could have at least just imported a lot of the H2O stuff, but I digress. And I'm going to be real too, guys. I got to give them credit. You know, I hate the barcode, but this disc art is killer. Like, it really is. I mean, Echo Bridge, I don't get you. Your entire foray into the Halloween franchise on physical media was god-awful until you got to this. And for some reason, you guys were like, we're going to give this a great release. I just want to say great, like comparatively speaking to what we had gotten and the ones they had just put out, it's still not a great Blu-ray. Then in 2014, we would get Halloween the Complete Collection, and of course, Halloween Resurrection was included in that release. And honestly, guys, this is kind of sick. Like, I'm not going to lie. I think probably the best looking in that box set is this one. I think the black Blu-ray case actually works really well with this poster art, and I've always dug the original poster of this movie. H2Os I've always felt is kind of corny. This works, you know? Put them on the knife, screw it. You know, this though, this shot of Michael, not great. And then on the inside here, you actually have some decent disc art as well. Don't know why they removed the mask off of it and just had the characters on the knife, but whatever. Look, this is actually a pretty good transfer as well. Scream Factory really did a good job with pretty much all of these transfers aside from Halloween 4, and we've already been over that. Now, it's kind of a bummer that they didn't put any new special features on this release or on the bonus disc, if I'm not mistaken. But at the same time, it kind of makes sense because, as I said at the beginning, Halloween Resurrection was just not a fan favorite. Like, nobody really cared about it. So I understand they kind of wanted to sweep it under the rug, and they're like, yeah, that movie didn't really happen. But I'm happy to say that at least the movie has 2 good transfers up to this point. Would actually like more special features, not gonna lie to you, because I want to hear them try to explain why they made this pile of dog shit, but like, hey, you know. But finally, we have reached arguably the greatest release of Halloween Resurrection on physical media, and yet again, that is the 4K from Scream Factory put out in 2022. Now, before we dive into this thing, I just want to say, what on God's green earth is that artwork? That's Ghost Myers. He's floating. That's like a Creed music video. Now, as with the other ones, you do get this hard outer case, which I really do dig. And again, I have reversed the artwork on the inside so it reflects the original poster artwork. And honestly, guys, again, this is a really, really good transfer. Scream Factory did a great job with all of these 4Ks. Now, I wouldn't say this is up there with Halloween 3 or Halloween 5's transfers. Absolutely not. But it's a damn good transfer. And again, gotta be honest, give credit where it's due. Love the disc art here. Like, I do. I actually think it looks better here when you don't see his hands. Like, I don't know, because like having the hands on there is just like super weird. But this is actually a really, really good release. It looks great. It sounds great. As corny as the alternate artwork is, I mean, it's something new, I guess. And there's actually some new interviews on here, like with Gary Tunnicliffe and Donna Keegan. So there was a few new things they added to this. But really, the big draw here was the fact that it was getting the 4K master. And whether you love or hate Halloween Resurrection, I mean, look at me. I own 7 editions of this movie. Now, it is my least favorite Halloween movie and is the one I own the least copies of. I still own 7. And I also said that I would buy a frickin' Steelbook of this thing. I really don't think you would have anybody argue with you or anybody give pushback when you say that this is, without a doubt, the best edition of Halloween Resurrection. It looks the best, it sounds the best, it imports all the special features over it, and even gives you a little bit of new stuff. It's the greatest. I mean, it's a great release for a bad movie, but Yeah. Being that Halloween Resurrection came out in 2002, it actually did not receive a Laserdisc, a CED, nothing like that. This was the first Halloween movie to get none of those treatments. As far as the, I believe it was DIVX, I don't know if you'd call it like DivX or whatever, release that you had for H2O, which thank a lot of you guys for letting me know in the comment section what Christian was referring to. I don't know if it got one. The format might have been dead by then, 4 years later. I mean, maybe it got a PSP release. I don't know. But the physical media history with this movie is actually quite limited. So yeah, that's the more brief history of Halloween Resurrection on home video. Like I said, it doesn't have nearly the amount of releases as most of these movies in this series do. And also, like I said, I would totally buy a Steelbook, but it better have Busta Rhymes cheesing on the front of it. But I don't know, what do you guys think? What's your favorite edition of Halloween Resurrection and why? I'm sure some of you guys are going to tell me that you like this movie, and that's totally fine, because I've said many times before, I like some movies that are just objectively not great. Jason X being one of my favorite, so bad it's good movies. So I'm not going to shame you for that. But whatever your favorite edition is, or whatever you think of this movie, I want to hear down below in the comments section, so make sure to chime on in. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the video. Make sure to leave a like on it, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is Nick at the Lost River Drive-In, and I'm pulling out.